Shatori Walker-Kimbrough has been waived by the Indiana Fever, leaving space to sign someone else.
An absolute operational collapse has completely compromised the Indiana Fever, exposing a front office driven by sheer desperation rather than basketball strategy as they scramble to mask catastrophic management failures. This isn't just a sports team in a slump. It is a full-blown integrity crisis unfolding in real time. Welcome back to Wnba Pro, where today we are tearing down the most chaotic, mismanaged, and humiliating 24-hour stretch in modern franchise history. We are breaking down the fallout of a severely misled fan base while dissecting the rigid legalities of the WNBA salary cap, mandatory injury reporting protocols, and strict roster compliance. The sudden, shocking release of Shatori Walker-Kimbrough stands as definitive proof of massive coaching malpractice, completely exposing a front office under heavy league scrutiny for potentially manipulating injury reports. From running a generational superstar into physical exhaustion to fabricating player status updates, management is now covertly plotting an emergency public relations stunt to salvage their shattered reputation. Let's look at the facts and fully expose the total lack of respect this front office just showed to a seasoned WNBA veteran.
Was waived by the Indiana Fever. She is a plethora of guards on the Indiana Fever, so this waiving isn't actually very surprising. She did also only get 3 minutes, I think, in 2 games. Yeah, 3 minutes in 2 games, and those were garbage time minutes, of which her only stat line was 1 turnover.
When the Indiana Fever officially announced they were waiving guard Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, they did it in the most tone-deaf, insulting way possible. The official social media account posted a generic "Thank you" Tory graphic with a heart emoji, prompting a furious fan response. Thank you for what exactly? Thank you for sitting on the bench in street clothes for consecutive games, as it did not play. Coach's decision, while management completely panicked, burning out a heavily fatigued roster? The irony is suffocating when you analyze the basketball metrics, which expose a coaching staff completely devoid of a cohesive strategy. Signed to add crucial depth, Walker-Kimbrough proved her value in the preseason opener against the New York Liberty, exploding for 18 points off the bench and logging a team-high plus 12 on the floor. Analysts demanded management utilize her meaningful regular season minutes to give fatigued starters a legitimate breather, but a rigid rotation kept her hostage on the active roster, refusing to put her on the hardwood even during tight single-point losses before unceremoniously letting her go. This isn't sound roster management. It is profound organizational confusion to sign a proven champion, witness your backcourt physically wear down, and then waive the exact veteran acquired to provide relief, a frantic move that provides smoking gun evidence of a deeper injury reporting scandal.
3 forwards, so she does fit the bill, but she is rough around the edges. She is a rookie, and she was drafted by the Seattle Storm from Michigan State, and she appeared in all 4 of Seattle's games. The most recent one against the Indiana Fever, she was in for 18 minutes. She did score 5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. So she did a decent job in the Indiana game against the Toronto.
While the Fever were busy tweeting heart emojis at a wave veteran, the WNBA League office was quietly stepping in to address an immediate integrity issue. The Indiana Fever are facing intense scrutiny for a blatant violation of the league's strict injury reporting mandates after Caitlin Clark was scratched under 2 hours before tip-off against the Portland Fire. Because she was completely omitted from the mandatory 5 p.m. injury report the day prior, fans bought expensive secondary market tickets. Reporters anticipated her arrival, and sports gambling markets accepted massive wagers under the explicit assumption that she was playing. With sportsbooks driving a substantial percentage of league revenue, manipulating injury reports directly damages consumer confidence and compromises the financial integrity of the sport. The WNBA has already issued an official warning to the front office, putting severe pressure on management as critics accuse head coach Stephanie White of delivering defensive, contradictory press conferences to deflect from internal panic. The breaking point arrived on Friday's official injury report, exposing the absolute reality behind management's public relations narrative.
And in her final season with UConn, she did average 11 points and 6.6 rebounds a game. I don't necessarily think that that's the way that the Indiana Fever are going to go, but she is someone that is available, and she's known more for her defense and decent rebounding. The other option that the Indiana Fever has is to do some sort of a trade. I don't necessarily see this as being the most obvious option because Shatori Walker-Kimbrough was just let go. I don't know what her trade value would be anyway. She was also on a veteran minimum of $277K, so there's not necessarily a lot to play with. I don't know who.
Now, Caitlin Clark has officially been listed as probable for the upcoming matchup against the undefeated Golden State Valkyries, letting the sheer absurdity of that designation wash over an incredibly confused fan base. On Wednesday, her back was supposedly so stiff and damaged that she couldn't even suit up against an expansion team, with the front office acting as if she needed major medical intervention. Yet less than 48 hours later, she is magically listed as probable to play against a highly physical, undefeated juggernaut. A complete pivot that exposes exactly what analysts have been shouting from the mountaintops. Wednesday was either a premeditated load management scheme or an internal suspension to punish her for challenging the coaching staff. If her health was truly compromised, rushing her back onto the floor makes zero analytical sense, unless management is terrified of playing in front of an empty arena on Friday. But the Indiana Fever have an even bigger ticking time bomb sitting on their desk right now. By waiving Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, the roster has officially dropped to 11 players, triggering strict league compliance rules that mandate franchises carry a full 12-player roster. Under severe cap restrictions, the front office is now forced to sign a replacement immediately before tip-off, leaving fans to wonder whether they will elevate a development player like Bree Hall or frantically look to the free agent market to save their sinking ship.
Process as to whether or not they want to go or resell the tickets, etc., leaves them with the feeling that the organization might have been doing, I hate to say this, but like a money grab. And so if Caitlin Clark does play on Friday, tomorrow, people will be wondering, well, what was the deal? Did you guys just not want to let us know so that we can make this decision? And that result wouldn't be good. But if she was injured, that result wouldn't be good either. So that's why I feel like the Indiana Fever in this instance, with the way that the communication was handled, very much.
The Indiana Fever face two highly distinct avenues to fill their vacancy, and the ultimate decision will reveal exactly how desperate this organization truly is. Option number one is a logical, analytical basketball move, elevating rookie forward Justine Pissett from her developmental status to the active roster. As a 6 feet 4 inches perimeter threat who shot 40% from distance in college, Pissett provides a precise size, elite floor spacing, and rebounding punch that this offense drastically lacks, offering Caitlin Clark a lethal pick-and-pop target. Conversely, option number two represents the ultimate nuclear public relations stunt, poaching Clark's former college teammate and best friend, Kate Martin, away from her developmental deal with the Los Angeles Sparks. Under official league guidelines, the Fever can extend a standard contract to Martin, forcing Los Angeles to either match or watch her book a one-way ticket to Indianapolis. This wouldn't just be a feel-good story. It would be a calculated, desperate maneuver to appease a heavily alienated fan base, recapture multi-million-dollar ticket margins, and patch up internal chemistry. With the ownership group on the clock and the roster deadline looming, management must choose whether to build a fundamentally sound rotation or resort to minor league marketing stunts to shield themselves from intense league scrutiny. Smash that subscribe button right now if you want a highly analytical, completely fearless truth that mainstream networks are absolutely terrified to broadcast, and drop your most explosive take in the comments below. Should the Fever prioritize Justine Pissett's size or execute the ultimate PR heist for Kate Martin?